life.
When I sing
The
to the
lives.
river, the river sings back to me.
Find the fire.
I can hear the voices calling.
Take things into your own hands. To take
From the time when time began. I can feel its cooling water, turning rocks to grains of sand. Long ago spirits are asking.
I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and wings and of the gay, great, happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing any, lifted from the no of all nothing, human merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened.
Hi there, my name's Lisa Starr, and I'm so glad to be recording for my friends Ricardo and Bernadet at Mixed Magic Theater. The theme, I believe, for this event is an unexpected poetry affair. I started an unexpected poetry affair 14 years ago with the man who is my best friend. His name's Coleman Barks, and he's going to be joining me for this recording. It wouldn't be right to do a celebration of National Poetry Month without involving our friend Mary Oliver in this recording. So I'll charge you all with going to your nearest Mary Oliver book and reading 3 of her poems when you're done watching this recording. And right now I'm going to share with you 2 poems that I wrote about my friendship with Mary and Coleman. The first one's called Bear With Me, and it's got an epigraph by A.A. Milne that you might recognize. The poem is Bear With Me. The epigraph, we'll be friends forever, won't we, Pooh? Asked Piglet. Longer than that, Pooh answered. Bear with me while I try to describe the sight of Mary's arm tucked into Coleman's. The 2 of them taking such small and concentrated steps due to the fragility and the neuropathy, or is it just the grace of God? Her arm in his, their slow and steady footprints to the car from the restaurant, his low murmur, her unbridled laugh. Easy now. The 3 of us walked behind them. My daughter said, they're adorable. My friend said, I can't take it. I said, Pooh and Piglet. And so they seemed. Big, old, gentle bear, tiny, fierce friend bundled in pink beside him, bolstered by each other for whatever wind comes next. The 3 of us watched as they inched toward the car, Mary's head resting lightly against his arm holding hers. We watched love take careful steps, one at a time, and we followed. Way, way, way longer than forever. Easy now. This next poem is called Galore, and of course it's dedicated to Mary and Coleman. I'm reading to you from Georgia, so I just traveled through the airport mentioned in the poem last night. Last night, after the 4th consecutive 10-hour shift in the restaurant on account of working more when I am home, on account of being away so much to visit you, on account of your stroke, I had a tantrum. And today, several more, most of them at the counter of the Delta Help Desk at the Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport, where Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms continued to greet travelers from around the world over the loudspeaker every 8 minutes, her voice so reassuring despite my great despair there at Grate 36, as the season manager politely pointed me in the direction of the train that would take me to the shuttle to the hotel where I am now writing this, since I missed my flight, since that very same train stopped working for 20 critical moments of today's airport scramble. Call it rage, grief, relief, or exhaustion. Call it letting go, or maybe just letting the world know that sometimes life and Delta Airlines suck. The last thing Mary said to you was kisses galore. Do you remember how she held her arms out for you, then pulled you in close so she could feel your face against hers? Now we say it to each other each time I come and go. So that's what this is all about. I miss Mary so much. I miss you so much. Kisses galore, tantrums galore, galore, glory. Hallelujah.
My name is Coleman Barks. These are my translations. Out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. And this is a poem of my own. I wish I was using my strategy for finding subjects for poems is just by listening to what is being said around me. In Union Springs, Alabama, at the Dollar General, white lady doing the register says to the black man customer in front of me, "Fish gone fishing." Black guy says, "I caught a 5-pound brim." I say, "A 5-pound brim, 1 pound. If I caught a 5-pound brim, I wouldn't be here. I'd be on Good Morning America." Did I hear you say fish gone fishing? That's my husband. His name is Fish. What does he like to do most? Pause, then she and the black man say together, "Hunt." The man goes, she turns to me, "That's my neighbor." We have rounded a sweet corner. I do believe we have.
Kenneth Fuller was the first dead person I ever saw. He was one of my big kids. He went to Vietnam and came home dead. That was the first time I'd ever heard of Vietnam, but it wasn't the last time. Big kids were gods who towered like giants. Big boys were tough and cool. A big girl's smile could drive you wild. Big boys played baseball with us from time to time. They dressed with style. Big kids got married and raised families next door. But all my big kids have gone away. Dead or dying, and I don't know why. Tip blew his head off. JT's in jail. Willie has a drug habit, and Bobby's not well. Skinny Pete came back home and was doing okay, until an agent named Orange took the light from his eyes and life from his limbs. Never thought I'd see this day, when all my kids have gone away.
I'm a fixer. I fix things, all kinds of things. I once found a butterfly whose wing was kind of bent the wrong way. It was flying around in circles, trying to get somewhere, going nowhere. I chased that butterfly in the yard for an hour. I bumped my head, I scraped my knee, I tore my good dress, but I finally caught it, and I fixed it. I found a cat with a bad cut on its paw, so I took it home. Oh, it was scratching and clawing at me all the way. It was a mess. But I got that cat home, and I've decided no matter what, I was going to fix it. Because that's what I do. I fix things. I'm a fixer. I tried to fix my first boyfriend. Oh, he was kind of like that butterfly. I know he didn't really mean to bump me that hard when I tried to fix his broken wing. I met a guy once. He was kind of like that mean old cat. He didn't really mean to hit me in the eye. He was just being a cat protecting his wounds. My husband has got some broken parts, and I'm determined to fix them no matter how much it hurts me. Because I'm a fixer. I fix things. That's what I do.
For all the times I forgot to thank you. For all the special little things you do. For all the words that sometimes go unspoken. I need to say, I love you, Mom. I do. I love you for the very way you stop and listen, and for your kind support throughout the years. For teaching me the meaning of compassion and sharing in my triumphs and my tears. And if at times I may have seemed ungrateful, I want to say, I truly hope you see that nothing you have done has been forgotten. And day by day, you just mean more to me. Even though it might hurt and it kills you inside, sometimes you have to let them go in order to save each other from the pain. And sometimes you have to love them from afar because it's truly what's best for the both of you. I have to save myself. This is my sacrifice. This is my truth.
Dangerous love, you're no good for me, darling. Yeah, you turn me away like I'm begging for a dollar. Danger, oh, how you hold me, I get a chill inside, and nothing frightens me, baby. Oh.
Is it love when so easily you say goodbye? Is it love when we've given up before we try? Is it love when you stole my peace of mind? Is it love when you cry and cry and cry? So when you walk out that door, don't you come back no more. My heart has had enough of the give and take, and as much as I want you to stay, you're a dangerous love. Maybe you're not good for me, darling. 'Cause if you're gonna love me and leave me hanging here, then I'd rather you leave me lonely. Even though it hurts, ooh, you're dangerous love.
Dangerous love, you're no good for me, darling. Yeah, you turn me away like I'm begging for a dollar. Danger, oh, how you hold me, I get a chill inside, and nothing frightens me, baby.
So when you walk out that door, don't you come back no more. My heart has had enough of the give and take, and as much as I want you to stay, you're a dangerous love. Maybe you're not good for me, darling. 'Cause if you're gonna love me and leave me hanging here, then I'd rather you leave me lonely. Even though it hurts, you're a dangerous love, baby.
Dangerous love, you're no good for me, darling. Yeah, you turn me away like I'm begging for a dollar. Danger, oh, how you hold me, I get a chill inside, and nothing frightens me, baby. Oh. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
I will not shoot myself in the head. I will not shoot myself in the back. I will not hang myself with a trash bag. And if I do, I promise you, I will not do it in a police car while handcuffed or in a jail cell of a town I only know because I have to drive through it at night to get home. Yes, I may be at risk. But I promise you, I trust the maggots who live beneath my floorboards of my house to do what they must to any carcass more than I trust an officer of the law to shut my eyes like a man of God would. Or to cover me with a sheet so clean my mother could have used it to tuck me in at night. When I kill me, I will do it the same way most Americans do. I promise you. Cigarette smoke, or a piece of meat on which I choke, or so broke I freeze in one of those winters we keep calling worse. I promise, if you hear of me dead anywhere near a cop, then that cop killed me. He took me from us and left my body, which is, no matter what you have been taught, greater than the settlement a city can pay a mother to stop crying, and more beautiful than a new bullet fished from the folds of my brain. When I die,
Brother Herman's Cakes. There's a man at my church, Brother Herman. He makes cakes. Cakes are his specialty. You ought to see him in the kitchen. Brother Herman is about 88 or 90, but he still refuses to use a mixer to blend his cake batter. He does it all by hand. That old man whips that batter with the rage until it's as smooth as custard. I asked him, why does he continue to make so many cakes at his age? He says, I make cakes so I could go to sleep at night, knowing I hadn't killed anybody. I wonder, are black men born with the rage, or do we grow into it? Did our ancestors have it and pass it on to us? Or is it something that's been imposed upon us like a yoke? I see it overwhelm so many black men, and I feel angry and ashamed they were not strong enough to control or defeat it. Yet, I don't trust a black man that doesn't have a portion of it. Sometimes it starts welling up in me, taking control of me. When it does, I'm capable of doing anything, good or bad. So I have to figure out my way to save my soul and make cakes.
Blessings to all. Because in this brawl, we cannot fall. But beware of the bling bling, because souls below are bleeding from the bottom of the ocean, while Belle's faces at the bottom of the well won't be forgotten. We will save the babies and the brethren, and the enemy will soon be beaten. With my bluest iris, I breeze between bamboo and bounce through obstacle with bittersweet beats and beautiful breaks, then bless you. With the brazen brontosaurus bones, where broken promises have become clones and strong winds blow echoes. Those bows and bows and bows, are they secret codes or quite becoming? Or monotonously boring? I bust bee stings behind the bat's wings and bear hug the thugs who bust buckshots and clubs cause they bamboozled us. But we be ready to break down the barriers they blaspheme us. While I'm breaking through the limits, busting lips with bootstraps, we so clap them, bring it back to battle raps with balanced beams of light. Reflect of both the shadow of your soul and also braids of cornrows. We break fast at breakfast and break bread at barbecues, choking on barbed wire brews that backfire before bands begin to play the blues. Then backlash sets in. And we begin to burn barbarians who claim that they be civilized, but there's really undercover Babylonians. We bludgeoning their bloodlines and blocking off their front lines, blockading bullish, biting flesh with boas poison, constricting their gazing. Blinding double vision while our third is setting in with one blink of an eyelid. Bless our kind that's born in higher consciousness' eyes, and after camouflaging for some time, we now be blatant, blasting off because we've been enough for us to chew, and plus our birth rate is balanced, but our bite is sharp, there's no mistaking. Whether you believe beyond the books or not will be your placement, trapped down in the basement. Look beneath the rock, around the corner in the tree bark. Book, Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Buddha teaching better breathing techniques beneath the surface. Beings rise inside the Bengal tiger stripes, but within beams of light, they still be blinded by our beckons, but we be bending rules, so then they belt us with their billy clubs. Meanwhile, who benefits from their wishes inside the box they push us in, but we don't fit, so pack them in. Who belongs where? We'll simply just bulldoze them in there, and then who will bow down to being better on the brink of disaster? Don't hide behind the binary which weaves in and out but ties in the threads of skin and melanin to ultimately separate so they can brag. But I be getting brain blizzards instead of brainstorms, and I believe that when we began, we were being human, not humans being man, meaning white plans that bind the land of bald businessmen who hold out fake hands and benefit from browns and tans and black hands with red lands, but drums are beating bloodstreams of heartbeats that we keep deep inside our bones from ancestors' thrones. Best not let them leak into the mouth of the beast, because his mark with a crease bring a quicker defeat. We must deceive the bearer of the barcode. Babylon has scarred the stars behind bars, but there is still time left. I believe it to be best if we form strong bulletproof vests and bonds that can't be broken like the spirits of the ancients. Be brave, but not for this home place. Brave for the well-being of the planet and the entire human race. For freedom, believe.
Out from the great strip city, a train came. Its cargo was pain and steel, determined to crush the will. Out from the great strip city, pain and steel rode the train. While at yesterday clouds were rolling,